That's what meditation is, letting go of everything. And you realize letting go of everything is not an experience. Letting go of everything is not a feeling experience. It's a existential position in relationship to life. It's a philosophical and spiritual position. It's a posture in relationship to all experience. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody get the difference? It's not a particular experience. It's not a particular feeling experience you have of peace, joy, or bliss. That's not it. It's a philosophical and spiritual position you're taking in relationship to experience. It's not the experience itself. And it's a difficult thing to get. So if you want to be a free person or a liberated person, that freedom and that liberation is dependent upon the position, the conscious position that you're taking in relationship to your experience, and it's not dependent upon the experience itself, because all experience comes and goes. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed? Experience comes and goes? So when it comes and goes, it means you can go up, right? Whoa, right? I'm enlightened, and you go, oh, down. And then up again, and down, or else you can go down also for a long time. And you can go way up, and then on it goes, right? So your experience is going to go up pleasant, unpleasant, fantastic, awful, blissful, painful, etc., right? So the feeling quality of your experience is always going to be changing. Isn't that true? And all the more so if you live a life of engagement. You see, if you live a life of withdrawal, so for example, if you go away and you live in a cave somewhere, and the conditions that you're living in are completely controlled all the time, right? It's the same temperature, and there's no noise, and there's no stimulation, and it's very quiet, day in, day out, week in and week out, month in and month out, year in. Then you can completely create a very stable feeling state, right? You may just have to, eat a little bit, sleep a little bit, but basically you can completely control the kind of experience you're going to have, right? But the more engaged a life that you live, right, the more engaged you are, the more you're actually embracing life, the more engaged you are with life, the more difficult it's going to be to control the kind of experience you're having. So therefore, if you're going to live a life of engagement, but you want to be free, the freedom that you're speaking about was going to have more to do with the position that you're taking in relationship to your experience than the actual quality or content of experience itself. Everybody get that? This is very important stuff. Very important. So if you live an engaged life, then your freedom is going to have more to do with the position that you're taking in relationship to experience rather than the content of your experience in any particular moment. A person who is not free can have an experience of bliss. Right? So a person who's not free can have an experience of bliss and feel during the blissful experience like they are free, right? But that doesn't mean as a human being they are free. And then you can also say that on the other hand, you could say a human being who is free can have an experience of pain and fear, frustration, confusion, and anxiety, and not lose their freedom. Ooh. So the freedom we're speaking about here has to do with the position you take in relationship to your experience, and it has less to do with the content of your experience rather than the position you're taking in relationship to your experience. Is that clear, that distinction? So what I'm saying is freedom is not a feeling. Freedom isn't the feeling of peace. Freedom isn't the feeling of joy. Freedom isn't the feeling of ecstasy. See, the feeling of peace, joy, and ecstasy feels free, but it's just a feeling of freedom. It's not freedom itself. So what I'm saying is that freedom is a position that you take in relationship to all your experience rather than a particular feeling experience. And that's something to think about. Okay? Hard lesson to learn, but it's very important stuff.